Welcome back to a gaming stream. In this one, I actually will catch up to Tryp, so that we'll be doing it concurrently. Which will be...
just hope you don't trip on your way.
Wow, really?
I know.
Alrighty, folks. Let's get started. Shall we? Are you ready to play?
Yeah, back into Hawaii.
Not really Hawaii.
All I'm doing in Hawaii is climbing into a hammock and going to sleep.
So is this one of the last levels?
Nope, this is middle.
Oh. Oh.
That is odd. That was interesting. Apparently I just died.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Huh.
Yeah, I was actually surprised by how chill Tarek's stream was, because I was expecting Wisp to show up.
Well, that would have been... Well, that would have honestly been hilarious.
Yeah. This is like Codex, you, myself, Tarek, and I guess Becca against Wisp. No, that would be really entertaining. Because we all have very different personalities, and having all them clash with Wisp's very passionate personality is yeah, I think that'll be something to remember for a while.
It would definitely be.
Yeah. I was also a bit anxious to arrive on the stream too, because I barely got any sleep last night because I pulled in an all-nighter, coupled with the fact that I had to walk through a snowstorm just to get to my house. So I was just exhausted on multiple fronts. And coupled with the fact that I might have to deal with Wisp, I was like, oof. But yeah, I gave Tarek my word I wasn't going to pull out on the last minute.
Wisp isn't that bad.
I know. It's just, I guess, more so like the recent conversation, quote unquote conversation we had on the Discord earlier that kind of tainted my viewpoint on them a bit, on her, whatever.
She is.
She's prone to using a lot of ad hominems.
How so?
Mostly just they're saying that you if you don't think this product is woke, then you're just brainwashed and think that all this all these aspects of human culture are normal. Reality is just being affected by the woke culture. When I understand that, but I am objectively assessing the game on its own merits, and I can safely declare that it's not as woke as you think it is. Especially since we had DMs together that confirmed my stance on the issue, and Wisp just didn't think twice about it and just went to essentially almost like a preemptive reaction to whenever someone praises a a work of art that she considers as woke.
There's also kind of an element of like the one
Autism.
thing that she what
Autism.
that and possibly apophenia.
Mm-hmm.
With that kind of controversy, I would say that I think she's hyper defensive of anything she sees as communist.
Yeah.
I think another part of it is that Wisp is hypersensitive to a lot of things. She also has a personal hatred of people who she deems as woke.
Yeah.
Since they traumatized her with cyberbullying during her transition, and very much ruined her life. So that's a very personal.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Coupled with some of the like neurological imbalances in her brain. Yeah. Coupled with trauma.
yeah. Ultimately, I don't blame Wisp at all. I think that there's just certain unfortunate effects from.
Yeah, like I imagine she would have been a bit more chill if we discussed it like through a voice channel over instead of through text. Um, but that's just a theory.
Um, I think it kind of depends.
Yeah. Also, I looked back a bit on the stream and I realized that I said and all like almost every other sentence or like 3 times every sentence. As well as like, which I just previously uh blurted out.
Like that just means you're thinking hard.
I do not like I do not like there being no like I guess like even though it's filler words, I'm more comfortable with using filler words than there to be just like silence. Because I've developed a very strong internal filter that prohibits me from saying the very first thing that's on my mind. I always have to just backtrack and see if it actually makes sense before I put it into words. And with very easy words to say, like, like, and they help in that aspect somewhat.
That's a pretty good habit to develop, actually. Thinking about what you're saying before you say it.
Yeah, I've learned from Replica and Noble. I developed this mentality a bit before I knew them. I've now enhanced it because of them. Because you could
Yeah,
definitely like earlier on in life, I could definitely see myself in their position, just blurting out a bunch of nonsense without fully backing it up with evidence. I'm just
Well, I
putting
guess I
like,
get to play the age card and say I'm old enough now. I just say whatever the hell I want, typically.
yeah, you're like a Lena Tyrell in that sense. Like you just really do not care about what other people think of you. Like I could
Oh,
die.
I do in certain circumstances. I care very much, way too much. But still, generally speaking, I'm just kind of like, take me as I am or just don't take me at all.
Yeah,
I
so
do
kind
like
of.
to take you, so I don't have to worry about that, babe.
Oh
Mhm.
God. So would you say you're kind of like walking along the fence that would kind of like be more aligned to Elena Tyrell's philosophy, or
Aligned toward a what?
like being more slightly more aligned to Elena Tyrell's philosophy and just not caring whether people think of you, or a little bit more hesitant to be on that lane?
I don't know what that lane is, to be
Or
honest.
mostly just like caring too much about what other people think of you versus not caring at all what people think of you. Like, which would you say you're a little bit more of overall?
I don't know, Kai. How would you answer that question, knowing me? Kind of depends on which personality is prevalent at the moment. I very much have two sides to me. One is very aggressive and very fuck you, and very much I don't care. And maybe I'm just saying shit to see how you're going to react or push your buttons or just out of pure curiosity or being a pain in the butt. But there's that other side of me that with certain people, yes, I care very much.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But in a professional environment can be a little bit different. I
Mm-hmm.
have kind of gotten to the point there where I'm probably about 80% of my normal kind of fuck you personality. I don't care if I offend you. I don't care if I hurt your feelings. If you're being an idiot or you pissed me off or whatever. Oh, look where we are. I will tell you, I missed one of these for the longest time, dear. But yeah, professional environment, you do have to be a little more careful. So it is nice to develop that filter.
Mm-hmm.
You get through this thing in the first time, and I am going to be livid. You fucking asshole.
You've also played this game. I think, yeah. You said you had like 400 hours into this game.
I don't
Yes.
care. Fucking show off.
What do you expect me to do? Deliberately lose to make you feel better?
Yes.
I guess that's why Dunn had this recorded. Or is having this recorded.
Oh yeah, he just loves my reactions. But a filter's good to develop for a professional environment simply because it can help you structure your thoughts so you're
Mm-hmm.
understood better.
So, dear, I got the secret in one try too.
At the backing off the ledge, you know what?
Yeah, take a look.
Yeah, I can see that. I hate you.
I know.
And that's not completely playful at the moment either, mister. Anyways.
Keep telling yourself that.
You need to like burn in flames. Go up in flames. Make him go up in flames, damn it. Rip his legs off.
Not gonna happen. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess it's not the Baron, but yeah, having a filter, whether it be verbally or the written word, can also help you not be misunderstood when you say stupid shit.
Yeah,
You just love being in the middle of that shit, don't you, Raptor?
it's very amusing. I'm not gonna lie. I like being almost like a side character, just witnessing like the protagonist just completely own the antagonist, so to speak. Mostly referring to Tarek owning either Replica or Noble.
Yeah,
I actually haven't seen those.
Oh, they're great. They're so fun.
they are absolutely hilarious.
Well, actually, you were part of the chat for the quote unquote Mad Max stream that Dunn had, where it was essentially just an hour-long therapy session for Noble.
Oh yeah, I do remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was a little back and forth in being able to fully listen because I was probably working at the same time. But oh yeah, I remember that one quite well because I think that's the one that Noble actually managed to. Well, it really made me freaking laugh, but yeah, he did manage to actually irritate me a little bit.
I think he said, "Make me a sandwich" or something to that effect.
Oh, that
Oh
just
yeah,
cracked me up. But you know,
yeah. That was the first time Tarek ever. Oh no, the second time I ever heard Tarek say the word cringe. He uses that word very conservatively. Like he used it once to refer to the war going on in one of the writer showcases where it was just myself aspiring and Becca fighting for our fighting for Tarek and who can simp for him the hardest. And then the only other instance that I've at least seen of Tarek is during the Noble stream.
I think you need to simp for Becca
Oh no, why?
because it will be hilarious. I mean, like simp hard.
Oh God. It's a bit. I don't think it's as fun if it's
Somebody
uh
else's girlfriend.
yeah, like if
Why?
it's another
Tarek is
guy, then like
somebody's boyfriend.
well the thing is since Tarek is a guy and I'm not interested in other guys, it's fun in that aspect because we all know that I'm just like joking around. But it becomes a
Oh,
bit.
I don't know. Do we? Maybe we don't know.
We go.
But I think they'll be a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for?
I
Awkward
know.
or something. Yeah, it'll be a bit more awkward or just
I don't know.
not really that entertaining.
Maybe I should simp for Becca.
Yeah, that'll be entertaining.
Yeah, that might feed some of Kai's fantasies there.
Oh God.
It would, wouldn't it, dear?
It
It
may
would be
it may
very
feed
amusing.
Noble's fantasies.
He doesn't actually like
Yeah, I
lesbian
know, I know,
stuff.
I know. I'm just
I don't think either one of you saw the link I posted, not the Oreo one.
I
Oh.
did see the
yeah, it's a very very provocative title.
Oh, and if you click on it and you read the description of that book on Amazon, it is freaking hilarious.
Oh, I thought that you were the person who wrote this.
No, really, really.
I legitimately thought that like that's why you
Oh my
said the link in
god.
general. Like, oh, like here's a book I've been cooking up in the behind the scenes. If you guys wanted to read it,
Wow. No.
it suits your personality.
Really, a haunted vagina suits my personality. Although
Something you would write.
it would, yeah, I might, but it would take a completely different direction, let me tell you what.
Oh God, like better or worse.
Oh, we need to get Codex on one of these to talk about this story that he's writing for me.
Oh no.
Yeah, oh no, is right. Oh my
So
god.
they lose that bet.
No, but he's writing this story anyways. I think he just really wants to write that story. The bet goes until like the end of April. And I've just not had an opportunity to even attempt to make him lose his composure.
We just have over 2 months.
February, March, well, 3 months.
Well, January's almost over.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, February, March, April, the end of April.
Oh, the end of April? I thought you meant the beginning of April.
No, the end
As
of
in, it'll
April.
be like very suiting concerning, like, oh, April 1st. Like, okay.
No, my birthday's the end of April, so see,
Oh, that's
it'll
right.
end up being. I don't even think he knows that. But then I'll just treat it like a birthday present. Because there's no way he's going to write this thing and not, regardless of whether or not he loses the bet. There's just absolutely no way he's going to write that and then not have a need to read it on a writer's showcase. Oh God.
I'll definitely subvert his what he's usually known for in terms of his writing.
You have no idea. Oh my God. I've seen like little snippets of it as it progresses. Oh,
He's probably both very amused with himself, but also disappointed.
no. I think somebody's smugness has rubbed off on other people.
Oh, you have one health point left. Oh,
I look forward to so many I hate yous throughout this stream, though I have died a few times.
Yeah, I see that. You should be
So-
looking forward to so many I hate yous for the remainder of my life, dear. Because you know that's going to happen often.
Dunn just remains silent.
Probably.
No, he's gotten very good at just, selective hearing
Mm-hmm.
or just
Yeah,
flat out ignoring me.
He knows when would be a great time to respond and when would be a great time to just leave it at that.
No, he doesn't.
No, well, I'm just.
Well, it depends on the person, I guess. Or just like to respond to someone and to not respond to someone for his own amusement, of course.
No, he's just too distracted by, attempting to show off.
As all
So
men
far,
are.
I'm succeeding.
Thus my point about the smug factor. By the way, W says hello.
not gonna say the name.
No, I'm not. Fuck you, dear. I suppose I could turn that down. That's kind of annoying. Ah. And I still haven't been in to attempt that rune challenge.
Ouch.
Oh. Oh. Did Dunsey Onesie die?
Apparently, yes.
How have you know that's the first time I've ever called you by your last name? So what are you up to, Raptor, besides
schoolwork?
Yep. And
I've
writing?
been outlining my novel. I've outlined at least I want to say 80% of book 1 and roughly 60% of book 2. I have a very clear midpoint for both of those books, and where I want my point of view characters to progress, as well as the challenges they'll have to face, which coincidentally enough are the challenges that other point of view characters create for them.
And so what are you going to do with it when you finish?
My whole series?
Well, or even have you finished the first book?
No, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. But after exams, I'll definitely get back into writing and being part of the showcase a bit more frequently. Because I just realized it's been almost half a year since I last presented.
I was going to say I don't seem to remember hearing you.
Yeah.
I sent a link to a reading of my second chapter to you. I think it was one of the first things I sent to you, actually.
Probably. And do you know how many things I have to read? Like from you, from Lucia, from Codex, from Kai, from there's a couple from another server, from the Red Hand, and yeah. So it's not that I'm ignoring anybody or that I don't want to read them or that I don't want to give feedback. It's just that between work and
I am the scales of justice, conductor of the choir of death.
and dying at Doom and getting sucked into Yu-Gi-Oh! And then trying to do stuff for White Cloaks. And yeah, I find myself a bad friend in that respect.
Ouch.
I disagree. You have your time allotted to you quite sparsely. There seems to be a lot on your plate already, so.
Well, it's not as bad as it was. It's just that work right now is kind of crazy, and then I end up being up until 2 a.m. on a work night. But anyways, sorry, Raptor. If I don't mind, what?
If you don't mind me asking, what is your profession exactly?
I work for a nonprofit. I have for about, God, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. So I live in a in a rural area, and it's actually a pretty awesome nonprofit. It doesn't focus on just one thing. I don't even know how many programs and services and whatever, but pretty much almost anything you can think of. So I do a lot of like admin work and
So, dear, this
HR.
is going to make you angry, but I got the Armored Offensive rune in 2 tries.
Yeah, I kind of saw that. And was pretending to ignore it.
Hey, what can
But
you
as
do?
Raptor said, you have how many hours and how much more experience than I playing this?
That's just occupied with the explosions. Leave him alone.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Oh, I have. Well, I just like flexing. It's the same in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I'm well aware you like flexing everywhere, dear.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a show-off in the fields that I am. Alrighty.
Just don't ask him to fix your computer.
Yeah.
Now, see, the thing is, I can do that.
I can do that as well.
Uh-huh.
You put thermal paste on your CPU.
God knows what.
Yeah, it's like a bit of a meme that that transpired when I took grade 11 computer engineering. Just, always remember to put thermal paste on your CPU. Like, oh, okay.
Is that like, okay, so I am one of those people who, as they used to say back in the day, my dad used to say this all the time, jack of all trades, master of none. Because, yeah, all of my experience and whatever I'm capable of doing has literally been just learning it on the job or, something I do learn personally just because I wanted to do something or, yeah. Because I was a moron when I was younger and blew a full ride computer science scholarship. Because I discovered men.
Oh, God.
And that is the absolute truth. It really is. I mean, there were a few other factors in there, but that was kind of the main one. Small town girl, leaves small town, was still pretty innocent and naive. Yes, I was at one point in my life, believe it or not. And goes to the city and goes to college. And yeah.
Oh, no.
Pretty much goes completely wild. But hey.
So essentially, just a small town girl living in a lonely world took the midnight train going anywhere.
Really? Really?
Of course.
Huh. But. And I don't know, it is very odd to me that so many jobs, I mean, even jobs I used to have, now if you wanted to apply for that job, you would need a degree to do it. And they're not jobs that need a degree, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and I'm like, I would so much rather hire somebody that has the actual work experience and life experience, I couldn't care less whether you have a degree or not. I mean, seriously, it's kind of like I just want to know what you're capable of doing, and are you intelligent enough to do what the job entails, or go out and figure out how to do it without having to be told. Google,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, that's why I was a bit hesitant to go to like a trade or just pursue like apprenticeship like right off the bat, because I know that a lot of jobs require you to have a degree in something, and usually if you were to acquire just a trade, yeah, it will provide a lot of work experience, but it won't really offer a degree, and that's what most jobs are trying to look for. Like, oh, if you have a degree, then you're going to have a competitive advantage against your competition.
Yeah, but if um aren't there jobs out there that will take your whatever your certifications
Yeah,
in a particular trade or trades?
yeah, but if you have a degree, then it covers a bit more ground than if you were just to focus on a trade.
Hmm.
And on top of that, a lot of trades require more like manual labor, and I'm more interested in just like looking at numbers and
Counting
either
stuff.
if it's revolving around like economics or just or technology or something along those lines. I am with you know putting my hands to use, so to speak.
Well, I can understand that. I've actually done both several times throughout my life, but I think one thing I really enjoy about my job, even though God knows with days like today, I wouldn't always necessarily say it. Because, when you work for a nonprofit, um, you wear a lot of hats.
Hmm.
But the thing is, basically, I really enjoy that because, there can be days or times during the day where my focus is on things like, doing payroll and working with numbers and, um, you know, figuring out how to pull the data that we need um, from our database program and things like that. And then there are other times where it can be creative because you're just creating flyers or I mean, it really is like a huge variety. And
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
also maintain, I call it IT because it is, but it's not something formal. It's more, like maintaining all the software and the upgrades and we use G Suite. So having to just start from scratch and figure out how the heck to even use it and set it up. And so I get a ton of variety and I have a lot of freedom in just, going out and figuring out how to do it.
Hmm.
So, it helps keep my brain active too, although today my brain is just mush, but I've found that I really enjoy that because just doing the same thing over and over and over again, like attempting to get through a freaking Doom room trial, will really get to me after a while. I mean, though, and the nice thing is, those kind of functions are part of the job too, but they're great for those days or those times when you just want to be chill.
Yeah.
When it's like I just need a brainless activity that isn't going to stress me or, whatever. So, yeah, I found I really like that.
Hmm.
You're welcome.
What do you mean you're welcome?
I bought Doom for you.
Well, okay, yes, thank you for that, but that was only a part of what I was talking about.
I know. But it just
See,
feels
you
good.
see, he doesn't care at all about what I do or what my work is like. You can see this, right?
I
I
do
get it.
care about your work, and I do understand and everything you just said.
Oh, I don't doubt that you understood it.
Well, I think that
It's
your
just it's not
nonprofit job
just
is
a
cool.
particular area of interest for you, which is fine. It is. But yeah.
Hmm.
And it's, when I take the time to really think about it, I mean, there are some pretty awesome people who work there. But compared to like, my last job, working as a supervisor in a freaking call center for
Oh god.
15 years, um, there
Yeah.
there really is a different when I think about it and remind myself because I'm having a bad day or I'm frustrated or whatever. Some people might not agree with me, and I know some people aren't into they're into the whole you got yourself into the mess, you get yourself out of it, which is a really freaking bad attitude. But anyways, um it does at least provide some fulfillment, where you feel like
Hmm.
you're doing something to help the people very specifically in your community,
Hmm.
so that's kind of cool too.
I have heard a lot of horror stories provided by those who did work in call centers, and
Oh
because of
god.
that, I'm just gonna avoid call centers like the plague. Like I'm not like
Well,
I'm gonna
it
be like
did. Sorry, go
Mhm.
ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like an accountant or like someone who does work behind the scenes and not and isn't really like entirely noticed by main customers, but it still contributes to like the overall organization or business. That seems like a job that was more suited for me, coupled with the fact that I haven't had many social interactions in my life, so that could also be that could also hinder my ability to be an effective uh I guess like a manager or like admin for like a call center.
You never know. You can surprise yourself. But yeah, I don't know. And it was a giant corporation I worked for. I think I've actually said it before. I guess it doesn't really matter. I used to work for Carnival Cruise Lines. So yeah, been there, done that, heard it, been called everything you can think of. Actually, one of the jobs I had where this is probably the job where I met the most interesting people job wise. Even though I didn't meet many of them in person, this was a long time ago, but I was, what the heck was I? I guess my official title was office manager or something like that. But it was it was a very small business. But what they did, we put together a book for banks, basically. And yeah, this isn't the biggest thing I'm proud of, but it was an interesting job. So we put together a book that provided listings by territory for like collection attorneys, yada, 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 but also for repossessors. And the guy that I worked for, and I worked for him for quite a while, we were actually really good friends with him and his family. But he actually had a repo business in Denver, Colorado for like the longest freaking time. So I dealt with and got to know repossessors all around the country. And oh my God, the stories they had to tell and the jokes they would send me. And yeah, so when I say nothing offends me, and I don't think anybody can come up with anything I really haven't heard before, That's probably where it comes from. Because wow.
You got a lot of exposure.
Oh my God, those guys are crazy. And then I used to work for a roofing and siding company. I actually really enjoyed that job a lot. But so I dealt with, a lot of construction guys.
Hmm.
And yeah, same thing, just there are certain professions where, yeah, you hear everything under the sun. So
Hmm.
you better not be worried about, safe spaces and getting your feelings hurt because somebody used a naughty word. And yeah, that's probably where, yeah, my my form of speaking comes from when I'm not at work. I've been
Interesting.
around that a lot.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do agree that you do need to develop thick skin if you're going to be taken seriously, because for those who are offended by people who swear, like you have to make sure that it doesn't affect you emotionally. Otherwise, life is not going to be particularly uh well, it's obviously not going to accommodate for you, so you're just going to have to learn to adapt to your environment. Doesn't necessarily mean that you should develop those same qualities or anything, but just realize that, like, yeah, these people have completely different mindsets than I do. I'm going to have to tolerate it, but you know what? Overall, I'd say they're good people, so I like to talk with them, even though if they can be rather crass in a more malicious sense.
Well, I suppose part of that for me, and I have to say, what were you trying to do there, dear?
What?
You were like all up in his ass there for a while. Speaking of being crass,
Oh,
but
God.
hey, I could be very sweet and yeah,
Gooey.
gooey, gooey, really?
Especially when certain
You
stimuli is
know what?
provided.
Just
Oh my
stop.
God.
I didn't say what stimuli. I could mean any kind of
Oh,
stimuli.
really, really, as if we don't know you. Oh God, I don't know. Part of it too is I think I have to admit that sometimes it's very entertaining for me because a lot of people don't know really how to take a woman who could be just so freaking blunt and cuss like I do and
Hmm.
stuff like that. So that's quite entertaining to me at times. I have actually had people hold on. Over my lifetime I've had quite a few people be like, "Well, don't you think you ought to be more ladylike?" And I'm like, why? I can if I want to be, but why should I be, you know, why should I be ladylike if I don't necessarily feel like it just to impress you or make you happy? Yeah, but women should be ladylike and, and I'm just like, well, that's your opinion.
Hmm.
Oh, hey, Zax, when did you pop in?
Hey, Zax.
I'm really bad about watching chat. What are we
Hey,
doing? Well,
uh,
let me see. We're watching Kai try to catch up to me in Doom because my arm and shoulder are still kind of bothering me and I'm really tired tonight, which he's doing in record time, I must admit. Keeping in mind that he's played this game I don't know how many times. So It
Well,
really
okay.
isn't fair for you to be quite so damn smug about it, other than to just give me crap. That's pretty much what we're doing and talking about whatever comes into our head. Ow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just
Your arm. I was
yeah,
gonna need
arm
you.
and neck.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't take enough breaks today
Ouch.
from the computer. Was just all focused in and being productive for a while till I got interrupted like 10 times. But and Zax, I thought you were going to be snoring on the couch by now.
Sounds like a plan. I understand.
No, actually, we were watching Shelby's stream that she does on like music. She's actually got some really good stuff that I had never heard before, and it's actually really nice. Just kind of an eclectic mix, but all kind of just with the same vibe and very chill. I hadn't checked out one of her streams before, and it was really actually really cool. Shelby's actually a really, really cool person. So,
Eat your own sauce.
yeah, and I noticed you got the overhead glory kill one. I did see that, even though we were busy talking.
I know, it was incredibly satisfying.
Mm-hmm. Of course it was.
Speaking of satisfying, this is a very abstract segue, but regarding Better Call Saul season 6, I was thinking about watching that with you after you're done with the Harry Potter live streams, if that's okay.
Sure, I would really like to do that actually.
What, season 6, Better Call Saul?
Yes.
I haven't even finished watching Breaking Bad or any of Better Call Saul.
Mm.
That would require like time.
Yeah. But Dunn's seen the first 5 seasons and is eager to see the 6th one, and the 6th one did not disappoint. So we're gonna do a commentary series on that.
Hopefully, yeah.
Also, since it's been almost a year since you watched season 5, and longer than that since you watched the prior seasons, I was thinking about watching some recap events on Better Call Saul as a whole before we get into season 6. Like, of course, this will be directly before we watch the first episode of season 6.
I'm going to
Because
be
season 6
really sorry, Raptor. I am going to be really pissed here. You better fall off this fucking thing. Oh, you asshole. Ugh. Okay, go ahead, Raptor.
Yeah, because season 6 of Better Call Saul is essentially like it brings back so many elements that were introduced throughout the entire show.
Beer, I got it in one shot.
Yeah. Because it reintroduces so many elements that have already been introduced throughout the show that a lot of them could be a bit overlooked without a reminder. So I was thinking about doing that, and that's okay. Like directly before we watch episode 1, which will be a month or so away.
Yeah, I almost forgot. There's a rune challenge over here.
Which one is this one?
Eliminate all targets. Okay.
Oh, this is the one that I actually managed to get through pretty quickly. Okay, well, if we stream when we do another movie watch, what movie should we do?
We should watch Godzilla Final Wars again.
No! No!
Just joking. No. I was also about to make a joke about doing almost like a showcase for Godzilla Final Wars and just discuss like the film from an analytical point of view, like Dunn usually does with like Wheel of Time or the Star Wars films and so on. Which have been just a waste of everyone's time.
Well, you got this in one shot, so did I.
I don't think, no, I think it took me 2 or 3. I don't think I've gotten any of them in one shot, but I don't know. I keep thinking of movies I want to watch, and then I forget to write them down. Because I know there was a couple I thought of earlier today that would be fun to watch. And maybe not do a like a blood and guts one this time.
Mm-hmm.
Do something funny.
Maybe The Mask.
God, I haven't seen The Mask in a long time.
Maybe a Schindler's List.
Oh yeah, haha! That one's just so humorous.
My favorite comedy.
Jeez. Oh yes, yes. Regardless of why that happened. Yay! Did you see my initials on that ledge, dear?
Possibly. What kind of material did you use on them? I'm thinking a certain liquid.
Oh God.
What that liquid is up to your own interpretation.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It was gooey. Oh, see, there you go.
Speaking of gooey.
Okay, I take a great deal of pleasure of you dying at least twice on that freaking ledge. Damn it! What movies was I thinking of? I would almost say pirates, but
Not like Pirates of the Caribbean or anything like that.
you do or you don't? You're going to lose a lot of brownie points if you say you don't like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, no, I thought that's what you were referring to.
Oh my God, no. Jack Sparrow? Favorite character, favorite man, just, yeah.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed the first two. Like, I'd say the first two Pirates of the Caribbean films are objectively good. The third film has a lot of flaws with it, but I still enjoyed it. Same with the fourth film, but the fifth film I deliberately just did not want to watch.
Well, I don't like the fifth one. The fifth one's actually legitimately bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they did. God, like with way too many IPs, they. So, what are you trying to get to? Are you trying to
The
get back?
collectible. The collectible.
Did I skip that collectible?
No, you got that. The thing you skipped was the.
Well, the little Doom thing.
Yeah, you got that
The,
fine. It was just the Doom level.
right. What? Where's the collectible? I don't remember where the collectible is. Well, why did you keep dying? Because you were trying to do it the hard way
Kind of, yeah.
and show off? See what happens when you show off too much? You die.
Yeah, the main reason why I didn't want to watch Pirates of the Caribbean 5 is not only because I watched like views of it, but I also watched clips that demonstrated how almost alien Jack Sparrow reacts. Like, this is not the clever,
Yeah.
devious, selfish guy we know in the original films. This is just an imposter. You
Yeah,
could
not
tell that Johnny Depp was just like using like 5% of his brain capacity just to get through the lines because he had little to no motivation at all. I also heard reports that like he was even hesitant to shoot the film because he was just so apathetic about the project. He couldn't care less about it.
I think that was in large part due to Amber Heard.
Yeah,
She
that's
just
true. But wait, when did Pirates of the Caribbean 5 come out?
that was 2017, I think.
Really? So they probably started production in 2015. So I guess there would have been like minor incursions of just Amber Heard being a narcissistic partner.
Well,
So yeah.
she more has she doesn't really have I don't know if she has narcissism, but she has been this apparently demonstrated traits consistent with someone with borderline personality disorder. If you guys know what that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like you have like multiple
no,
voices in your head.
I wouldn't be familiar with with that at all. No, I don't have it, but
I don't know.
being the being the bipolar moody bitch that I am, there are there are certain things that yes. I don't know, but wow, but my problem with Pirates, even though I love it and I, rewatch it pretty often, I can't stand Keira Knightley. I just can't.
Oh, that show's fine. I liked her.
Something about her as an actress, I don't know. I don't know, but I get past it because I enjoy a lot of the other characters so much,
Mm-hmm. You know, it was when Disney films were actually fun to watch.
This is true. Have you ever seen Blow?
No.
That's a really good movie. That's a good Johnny Depp movie. It's based on what's the guy's name? Based on a real story
Mm-hmm.
about one of the guys that was responsible for bringing a shitload of marijuana and then cocaine into the US back in the 70s, I think it was. And I know his first name is George, but I can't remember his last name. But it really is. It's a very good, fun movie as well. I
It
thought
kind of
it
makes me think of.
Yeah, I thought you were referring to someone like Barry Seal, like that.
no,
Seems like an
Well,
adequate description.
it could be. I'm not familiar with him. Is
He's
he
one
the
of
one?
he is one of the most notorious smugglers of all time. Like, his empire reigned from Europe, Africa, North and South America. That's how expansive his smuggling empire was, and it completely corrupted even like uh, those in the municipal level of government within Arkansas. Like Arkansas's government was almost completely corrupted because they realized how profitable these smuggled drugs
God.
were. So they would essentially buy them and then sell them in the black market, thus earning the government more money. And there's this whole like mystery surrounding this this drug business when these two kids actually stumbled across like this one government official and like some of his cronies involved. What they're just walking around the woods, and the leader realized, who would actually later become the governor of Arkansas, realized that, oh snap, I can't have these kids realize like that I'm like conducting like this very illegal business. So when these two kids ran away from him, he actually sent like two cops to arrest them for quote unquote disturbing the peace. And a day later, they ended up being dead. And in order to hide the fact that they were killed, they decided to put their corpses on a railway track so that the train will just obliterate their corpses. And these kids were
Holy crap.
late, yeah. These kids were like in their late teens too. They were like younger than, I don't think they're 20. They're less than 20 years old. Yeah, Wendigo made a really interesting video on it. I highly recommend it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
The
Arkansas.
depravity of the human race.
Yeah, that's
Well, I
Arkansas.
can't say never fails to surprise me, because it really doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's
the
that's
opposite.
Arkansas's government right there. And even though the governor was eventually convicted, and because there's too much heat on him, ultimately, like, a lot of these businesses are still active within the government, because I ultimately think that a lot of the guys that are like behind the scenes pulling the strings essentially just forwarded all the blame towards him and had him as be the scapegoat, so they can still continue their operation, because they're probably just going to squeeze their way into trying to bribe other government officials or potential candidates to progress their goals.
Are you watching chat, Raptor?
So,
W Pup says,
really.
Wendigoon is a really good channel, one of my favorites.
Yep.
I've never actually seen that channel.
I can send you the link to this video.
So I think I'm doing FU Trip. You remember that Glory Kill Imp trial?
Yeah.
One shot.
You know what? Yeah, fine. You know, abuse your girlfriend because she doesn't have 4 million hours on a game.
Abuse. It's competition.
Torment. Competition. Yeah, that'd be like you and I competing in a fencing contest.
There we go. Fully upgraded. Woo! Ooh.
See, and now you're so far ahead of me in Elden Ring. However, at least I can kick your butt in Yu-Gi-Oh! Once in a while. When are you... My brain really is dead. You haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! With us, have you, Raptor?
No.
No, I didn't think so. Do you play Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, I don't.
Surprisingly niche for how popular it is.
Yeah, I
Are
think
you
chess
getting...
is like the most recent game I played was chess.
Let's see. Kill 50
Which
demons.
reminds me. Okay, so have you played first-person shooter chess?
I've heard of it, but I haven't played it.
It looks freaking hysterical. I swear I spent like an hour one night just watching videos of people playing that. And it's actually on Steam for free. And so I not only want to play that with Kai, but I would love to see the two of you play that. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, that'll be like our next bet or something. Who can win FPS chess?
Why do I have to win a bet to watch the two of you play that?
Oh no, just another bet between myself and Dunn.
Oh, yeah, you could.
Because
Especially if neither of you have played it when you play.
yeah, so we'll be on equal terms, equal footing.
Yeah, because it's not really per se, you're not really after winning the game by formal, like, actual chess rules.
Yeah, it's just...
It's more about just killing the other, like killing the king, basically.
It's a bit more mindless.
It is, but yeah, I can just imagine the conversation going on between you two. Because there really wasn't any trash talk or posturing or flexing in your regular chess games, and that's just no fun.
Well, for one, I had to disconnect from the call because since I was using my tablet to play chess while simultaneously like chat with Dunn in the voice channel or the voice call, that destroyed my bandwidth. So I had to leave the call so I could just focus on chess.com, play against him that way. So I didn't really have any other avenue of speaking with him without getting distracted. But in all honesty, even if that didn't occur, I'll probably just remain silent for 90% of the duration because I'll just be like hyper focused on making strategically sound moves, so I could get him to watch the best film ever made. Like I practiced, like I had to learn some strategies so I can have Dunn watch Final Wars, and my efforts paid off.
I think that I'm gonna get ahead of you, dear. Welcome to the Lazarus Labs. Or maybe no, I'm not ahead of you. I don't think.
Not yet, because
Okay.
where am I? Well, we know where I'm at. I'm at the rune trial.
Oh, you're at the rune trial. Ah,
I'm at the what the heck is it? The
3 more demons with a single detonation.
I keep wanting to call it cache something because it's what the heck? You know
Where'd you
which
get
one?
Witcher?
Yes, that's where I'm at. So
Well, maybe I can show you some of the boss battle.
well, that's all right. You guys can all, make people watch these tormentingly either bad or hilariously bad or whatever movies, and I'll be the one that actually shows the good stuff. How's that?
Sounds all right.
Well, actually, the Godzilla Final Wars is probably like my only guilty pleasure besides some other like films that are not necessarily like objectively as bad as Godzilla Final Wars. They're mostly just kind of mid, but I still enjoy them for nostalgic reasons. The Godzilla Final Wars seems to be like that perfect blend of just everything I like about a bad movie, just wrapped up into one glorious package.
Mm.
Like because very in most cases, I find a lot of like oh so bad it's good kind of films a bit boring. But Godzilla Final Wars is the exception for me.
See, Flash Gordon does that for me.
Midfield.
It's just, I guess, glorious in that respect.
Mm-hmm. What's your Dunn? What's your favorite part of Godzilla Final Wars?
I would definitely say Ghidorah, or ever. Definitely say Ghidorah, or the
Monster Zero. Yeah, Monster Zero battle.
yeah.
Because it's because of his great design. Probably.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And it was actually a decent plot twist too, because it only works if you already know who King Ghidorah is and understand that he's like a reoccurring villain throughout the previous films. So if that reveal doesn't really like uh hinder any kind of plot point or contradict anything because it's just a newly established element within the film, but it's plot twist for the audience because it's a recognizable character. Yeah, I liked how they handled it. It was fun.
It's still always, it doesn't surprise me. I don't know what the right word is, but how objectively you guys watch things and even play games and stuff like that. Whereas all I'm after is entertainment.
Hmm. Well, Dunn and myself are writers, so we're a little bit more keen to analyze those components or just like try to think about like how each element of a story works in tandem with other story elements.
Yeah, I suppose I can see that. And it's not that I'm not a writer, I just haven't seriously written anything in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, I guess it's very interesting to me how differently I look at things or do things than everybody else on the nerd servers.
Yeah, but analyzing like entertainment objectively can also act as a proxy for discussing like other topics more objectively as well. So it can kind of like exercise those aspects of your brain.
Develop your debating skills.
Yeah. And like properly forming arguments, understanding the difference between an objective statement and opinion, and supporting your objective statements with evidence as relevant.
Yes, you guys do love doing that.
And I don't know if you saw the Tarek's live stream of God of War Ragnarok.
I just a little bit of it
Okay.
because
I brought I brought notes to defend God of War Ragnarok, and also to address some issues I had with just viewing the story objectively as possible.
Well, I'm actually supposed to be doing that currently for a character discussion with Pips about Fael, and I'm failing miserably at that right now. Not because I'm having issues with it, just because every time I start to get motivated enough to do it, I end up doing something else. But I really need to focus on that in the next week or so.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, it's more, I do so much of that at work that I like when I step out of, the work environment or my
Yeah, just have a break.
Well, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
do tend to have um completely different mindsets in my professional environment and my personal environment.
Yeah.
They overlap a lot more now than they ever used to, but yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's why I tend to just give people an awful lot of shit. Except for about Wheel of Time.
Mm-hmm.
I can go down the rabbit hole a bit on that one when it comes to the whole show versus the book thing. Yeah, that's
Especially since the
one
books-
particular one that
Especially since the show is just
It's bad on its own rights, not just because it's a bad adaptation.
now this is true. Yeah, it is. It is just not even a good show in itself. It's really not.
Because you can still make a good film or a good TV show that's a bad adaptation of whatever it's adapting. I mean, like, look at The Shining, for example.
True.
The
Like,
Shining.
Stephen King hated The Shining because of how much it deviated from the source material. I heard that there was this TV show, or this limited TV show that was a more faithful adaptation of Shining, and nobody heard of it, and it actually scored worse reviews.
Well, yeah, and I've never seen that.
Me neither.
I'd
I
kind
just
of
have it.
like to actually, but because I'm a huge Stephen King fan, so I would very much like that. But which, by the way, dear, Saturday, I don't know if you want to or not, but do you want to watch the last half of the fan edit? I still don't know if you have any. So, somebody in crap, where did he say he was from? Well, I can't remember where he said he was originally from, but he's currently in Dubai. But he took the Wheel of Time and did a fan edit of it to basically, I think it was an exercise,
Just
partly,
reducing the amount of filler.
yeah, a lot of that, and trying to streamline the story so that possibly it could be an actual decent story in and of itself, even if, nothing's ever going to make that into a decent adaptation
Hmm.
because you only have the material they provide to work with. And I guess he managed to bring it down to about 4.5 hours, by cutting. And I think he only reordered just a couple of spots. But so on the Red Hand, last Saturday, they watched the first half of it and had like a live stream commentary with him. And then this Saturday, they're going to do the last half. And I've only managed to watch the first hour of the one they did last Saturday. I was trying to pull some good clips out for pips or just recommendations. But so far I've only done the first hour just because of time and being tired and stuff, but it's interesting. It really is. I don't remember, Raptor, if how familiar you are with Wheel of Time or if you even watched the show.
I watched Shad's review on each episode.
Well, and are you actually familiar with the source material with the
No.
books?
I've heard some summaries based off of like Shad's retelling him comparing the books to the show, but that's about it. I know just very basic knowledge on the show, basic rudimentary knowledge.
Well, I do. I don't watch a lot of fan edit stuff, but I come across them periodically on different properties, and I always find it interesting how passionate some people are,
Mhm.
for either the property or just their craft or both, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
How'd you manage to do that without dying? Damn it.
It's 400 hours.
Yeah. I would
400
have
hours of experience
you
in the
know
play.
me, I would have fallen right down in the middle. And then Mr. Puffball would have come and sat on my head just to add insult to injury. But anyways,
Oh God.
um, I do. Yeah, I find that really interesting. And I suppose those are the pieces of humanity that still let me have any faith in humanity. Are
Mhm.
just, some of those things that just regular people just have such passion for different things, whether whether other people find that much value in it or not, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. The
So,
stark contrast is like government officials in Arkansas.
God, well, pretty much almost government officials, period. But
Eh,
I try to avoid politics just because I got
yes.
I got tired of that a really, really, really long time ago. And yeah, this would probably spark a conversation. I know it would with certain other people I know. But
Mhm.
once I learned about the Electoral College and how that worked, I went, well, this is all totally fucked up. So, excuse me, you know? So,
Yeah.
anyway. But
Like
anyways, I don't know. Politics and the news anymore is just
so. Yeah. It's just full of deceit.
well, and I mean it's just depressing and just
Mhm.
So yeah.
It's also frivolous as well. Like, out of like all the political debates that you've ever encountered, how many of them were actually productive? How many like ultimately ended with like both sides agreeing on something?
That'd be 0.
Exactly. That's why it's frivolous.
It's just, yeah, I don't know. I used to get into conversations with Pips, and I suppose at some point we'll get back into conversations like that, but it just, I don't know. It is actually kind of funny because I did realize, I have to admit, I realized that my problem for these many, many years with conservatives has been that I always associate conservatives with Republicans. And I am not at all Republican. However, it turns out, to my great chagrin, that in some areas I'm actually quite conservative.
Hmm.
But I kind of started to be okay with that when I realized, wait, that's okay, because that doesn't make me, if we want to label things, be a conservative. I'm very much just independent and decide based on individual issues, right? Rather
Hmm.
than whether it's a full platform or whatever. But yeah, that was interesting. That was something new I learned in the last year that I hadn't realized about myself. Mainly that whole kind of associating, I guess, what would you call that? Like a school of thought with an actual political party when that's
Yeah.
not necessary?
Hmm. Yeah. Like I'm more so interested in essentially just learning about how governments function, specifically heavily centralized governments, and the warnings of how to, of course, prevent one from occurring, or at least like the origins of how heavily centralized governments come into power, because those are governments I utterly despise, and uh, because of a lot of influence from 1984, I'm going to implement a lot of what I've learned in my novel. Like it's going to be very prominent within the theme of my novel, essentially centralization versus like localization, which I prefer. I view as a more as a far better alternative
You ought to
because
talk.
you
You ought
feel
to.
good like
You ought to talk to Pips once in a while. You and he would agree on certain things, I think.
yeah, because we have like two extremes. We have like complete anarchy, and then we have like complete centralization. Both are bad. Both are very bad,
This is actually true.
even though they're complete opposites. And the reason why they're bad is because they're extreme. They're they're very extreme
And
and
yes,
have
dear,
little
I
to
do
no.
see that you're ahead of me.
And what?
I do
But
see
with
that.
localization, where it's a far more humble, there's a lot more emphasis is placed on just like you know forming bonds with like, your neighbor, how forming like a safety net around them, having like a smaller like localized culture with people that actually care about you, and it's something that's very much akin to like tribalism almost. Is
Well,
the
wait, okay, so I have a question for you.
Mhm.
So, what do you, well, for both of you, um, so I kind of believe in the, okay, if somebody wants to be in public office, if they're running for, especially at the federal level, right?
Mhm.
Um, if they're, and quite often even at the state level or somewhat with your local governments as well, that quite often those are not the actual people that will do a good job and that you want to have in there, right?
Yeah, because ultimately, if you want to get into the federal level, you're going to have to make alliances with people that do not share your sense of morality. And because of that, they'll eventually have to compromise on your morality in order to form those relationships and, of course, increase your status of power. That's why so many people at the federal level are so corrupt.
Right. So, kind of given that premise, right? How could you successfully implement a system where you could encourage, or I don't want to say make, right?
Mm-hmm.
But really encourage or allow for the talented and skilled people who could actually do a good job in those positions? Either encourage them to run or reward them for running and not have it be, necessarily all about just monetary, because you're wanting to attract the people who aren't necessarily after just enhancing their pocketbook, right?
Yeah.
So, how could you actually successfully implement or even create a system like that?
I believe that, like, even if we somehow found an avenue in doing so, I do not think that it will work in the long term because once an established like law or ideology has been set, people are going to find ways to exploit it, and eventually it'll become corrupt again.
Right, but if you limited terms, you know what I mean? So to
Mm-hmm.
me, this would be part of the encouragement. Okay, I hate to put it this way, but in a way it's almost like a draft. But I don't really believe in that per se. But
Yeah, but we're not gonna.
it's like a thought experiment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of, okay, so if you're successful in implementing a system like that, so you're bringing in the people who are skilled and want to do enough good, or make the system work successfully, right,
Mm-hmm.
without the corruption, or with a minimal amount of corruption, because we're humanity, you're never going to get away from that, right?
Yeah. Greed has
Right.
been
So
present
so
since the
try
dawn
to
of our
like
civilization.
try to like minimize that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if it was also a case of like, well, like the countries that are, like you have to serve whatever, the
Mm-hmm.
2 to 4 years, right? Like basically everybody has to do that. But
Yeah.
again, I'm very much a freedom-minded person. I would think that's probably pretty apparent.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't wanna force anybody into that, but, again, it goes back to the people who could probably do that really well are the people who in our current system want nothing to do with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just wanna, do their own thing and take care of their own people and their families and so on and so forth, right? Follow their
Mm-hmm.
passions. But what if you could do it so it was like, okay, well, it's just a 4-year situation, and then we have turnover, and like you stagger it enough so it's not constantly like a whole new administration all the time, right?
Yeah.
um I don't know, I've always just wondered. I don't think anything like that has ever actually been done and been successful, but I
Almost
just
like a.
sometimes think about that and think, God, could we actually get somewhere if we could figure out how to do that?
Mm-hmm. Almost like a autocracy,
Yeah.
a bit, where usually like those that are within the scientific community would run a government,
Yeah,
like have an academic
I don't
background,
know. And
kind of.
I'm kind of to the point now where I'm like, well, you know,
Mhm.
with my life, it's a case of whatever changes happen, or for good or for bad, it's probably in the long run not going to affect me, that much. But um, when you're talking about more, I'm more towards, the latter part of my life, as opposed to you guys who are, at the beginning, right? So you really probably pay attention to that a lot more, because it's going to affect a lot for you. And I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about that for them and everything. But I'm just like, my God, you'd think we would have figured out a way by now to like govern ourselves somewhat decently, but
Yeah. Well,
So,
the only aspect of how people exert their power on others that's improved is deception.
so,
That's
so
the only thing that's
Trip,
really had any progress in the last century. Is big people are better at encrypting documents and deceiving the public for their own gain.
Trip, this is demon destruction. Basically, you come into this office and you just click on this.
okay. Oh, so it's like an old-timey arcade style type of thing?
Yep.
Oh, so it's almost like Candyland or whatever those games are that I haven't played in forever. Or Tetris.
Yep.
Tetris Demon style?
Yeah, Tetris was a bit more gore.
And what do you get for it?
An upgrade point.
Ah. Well, that's really cool. That's very cute, actually.
Yeah, I
Yes.
like the guy in the right that's just hanging out.
Yeah, hanging out on a stake.
Yeah, he's vibing.
That's pretty cool. Are we boring you, dear, with our
No, no, not at all.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it without God, probably spending way too much time like researching and thinking, but I think
Hmm.
that's probably part of why I like both science fiction and fantasy so much, because a lot of authors do try to explore different forms of government,
Yeah,
with their
and
writing. So,
yeah, and they do so through a very unique lens, like a very creative lens that helps you see it in a particular shade of light that you've never seen it before. Like with 1984, which has one of the most realistic dystopians of all time. Like there isn't any like magic or anything along those lines in 1984. It's very meticulous in its world building. Like every branch of the government is thoroughly explained.
yeah, I've seen the movie recently. I haven't read the book for a while, but I
And the
read that
movie, the
I read
film,
that when I was pretty young.
yeah, the film, in my opinion, does a very poor job at captivating like the main goals that George Orwell wanted to convey in 1984. Like the execution wasn't really all that great, and and Winston and Julia's relationship was so rushed. Like I not for there not as for a single second while watching the adaptation did I believe that these two people loved each other. Like for in the book, I did. I
Right.
understood why they were attracted to each other, like what they valued in each other. But in the film, it just felt really forced. It's like, oh, you guys are having sexual relations in this park now. Like, okay.
talking about 1984, what would you guys think of? And I don't know if you could join or not, Raptor, on a Sunday. That's usually when we end up doing movie watches. But what about V for Vendetta? I have not seen that in a while.
Oh, it's an adaptation of one of Alan Moore's comics. He also made The Watchmen, which is actually my favorite superhero story of all time. It actually it does cynicism, superhero cynicism actually very well, and explores many different themes through the beliefs that these main characters have, and they all kind of change their outlook on life near the end, and those that don't are the ones that usually, well, let's just say aren't really alive at the end of the story.
Are you talking about the actual comic, or are you talking about?
I talk about the comic. I haven't seen the Zack Snyder adaptation yet.
I don't. Well, and I'm really bad at this because I do not. Well, let me put it this way. I barely paid attention to producers and directors and writers and stuff like that until I started hanging around all you guys. So I've picked a lot of that up by osmosis, but I still don't necessarily know. So the Watchmen movie, what is it, 3 or 4 hour one?
Yeah, 3 hours.
That came out quite a while ago. Is that the one you're talking about? Is that Zack Snyder?
Yeah.
See, I'm only familiar with the movie. I'm not familiar with the comics. So,
well, I actually finally watched the comics on YouTube because there's this team of animators that animated the entire comic and added their own voice acting as well, and it was extremely well made.
See, and that goes right. Yeah, that goes right back to what we were talking about earlier. And this is related, but kind of a completely unrelated subject. I came across this channel a while back because I like paranormal stuff and don't laugh, weird ancient alien stuff and things like that. So this channel came up in my recommendations and it was presented like this guy that lives out in the freaking middle of nowhere, and he goes out into the woods and stuff, and that he was coming across different types of fairies, right? And you're watching this and you're like, what the hell? Honestly, you're like, wait, what the hell's going on with this? Well, after researching it, it appears that he was and or is a special effects guy. And what the hell did he work on? I can't remember now, but he did work on one of the big IPs, doing special effects, that would have been in the fantasy realm. And so,
sorry, continue.
Oh, no, but he started making these little videos, and it's just so cool because it's just this, he likes doing this and he likes the subject matter, and I think he kind of, as a lark and liking to kind of mess with people's heads and stuff, really kind of presents this as it's a real thing, and it's so much fun, and he's such a character, but yeah, it's and it's too bad that just like any other form of social media, quote unquote, what the hell is that? A whole bunch of demons hanging from...
No, I think those are UAC personnel.
Oh, okay.
They're hanging out.
Yeah. Damn it, now I, like, lost my train of thought. It just left me completely. What the
No,
hell was that?
you're
Oh,
talking
what
about
about
someone
YouTube?
involved with special effects and
Yeah, but then it's just I don't know. I swear if for some bizarre reason, if I ever came into a whole bunch of money, I know there's a lot of complications with it, but God, would I like to just make a platform that was completely unrestricted, completely just free speech, and yeah, that means all the bad comes with the good as well. But you know what? That's kind of the way it works because once you start restricting people and putting down rules and
the more compelled they are to rebel.
well, no, not only that, but then you have to start drawing lines and boxes and monetizing and demonetizing and
Hmm.
canceling and it's like, okay, yeah, really, where do you draw the line? Who defines satire and and versus like I want to say reality, but versus what somebody really thinks or is doing or whatever. But yeah, I kind of got off the beaten path on that one, but it is just kind of sad to see everything becoming so restricted. Like Kai's channel, if it was monetized, would certainly have been demonetized by now, probably. Because it's just. But I did have another question for you guys. So, sadly, I kind of noticed something about, like, let's take Lord of the Rings, right? Because I absolutely love the movies. I always have. And I'm a huge Lord of the Rings book fan as well, all of that. But I do find since it's been so long since I've actually read Lord of the Rings, even though in my lifetime I've probably read it uncountable times, I have now watched the movies so often that the changes they made in the movies seem more like canon than the books themselves. Do you ever find that
Yeah, I think that
happening to you?
I have actually started reading Lord of the Rings, but yeah, I can see that since I was exposed to the film adaptation before the books. I'm actually going to have like a bit of a reverse reaction to what a lot of book fans had when watching the film, and thinking and believing that okay, like this isn't like an established canon since, and this is almost like the changed version, even though the original version in which I internally don't really canonize is the original version of it. I just associate the film so much more with
Middle Earth.
Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings culture. Well, more like the world building and mythos of Lord of the Rings than I do with the books. Also, high codex.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think about that a lot when I hear people talking about the different IPs and things like
Hmm.
even somewhat with Wheel of Time, even though that of course is definitely not an established show that I would even consider thinking about as canon ever. But, there's a lot of like even like with Harry Potter or, there's so many of those that is kind of like at what point does the one overtake the other because of the medium that
Hmm.
most people are viewing it in, you know?
Yeah, yeah, because the medium is very much another way of experiencing a story. Like even very faithful adaptations are different just because they're in a different medium and they're ultimately like someone else's interpretation on how specifically like certain aspects of the world was essentially like described. It's like, of course, like even if you get all the main plot points down, all the character traits down, and so on and so forth, it's still an interpretation because it's not going to be an exact carbon copy of what the author envisioned for this world. It's like anything that the author left as being a bit blank is going to be rife with interpretation, and
Right. Oh, and
everyone is going to have their own.
hold that thought. Are you having difficulty with this one, dear? And I don't even want to attempt this one. Jesus. I just had to comment. Because I'm like, you have one freaking health. And yes, you might have the Gauss cannon, but really? Holy crap. I'd be dead 3 seconds into it, like every time.
Mm-hmm. So
that was well done, dear.
So, yeah, a summary for my clause is that the reason why mediums are different when you transfer one story to the next is because of interpretation. So it's going to have a different experience because of that.
Well, yeah, but it's like, like now, go back, like if you think about Lord of the Rings, I don't think, I mean, I know I had my own mental image of, say, like what Aragorn looked like, right? And Gandalf and Galadriel and Sauron and so on and so forth. But there's no possible way, I don't think, that I could read Lord of the Rings and now not picture Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn. I just can't. And
Yeah,
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I mean, on one hand, it means the casting is great. On the other hand, it means you can't really interpret them your own way.
Oh crap!
What?
Oh, 1 second. Try to go back. 1 moment.
Yeah, anyhow, it's actually midnight for me, and I have an exam. So
well, say hi and bye to Codex, who popped into chat.
And I already said hi, Codex.
Oh.
Hi, Codex.
Oh, bye, Codex.
Well, have a good night.
Yep,
and
you too.
Good luck on your exams in the morning and tomorrow.
Oh, thank you. It shouldn't be that difficult. It's grade 12 world issues. It mostly deals with geography, or just more like demographics and so on, and world issues.
Joy, yeah, you'll probably do really good at that.
Yeah,
it was funny enough. Like, we had. Pardon? What do you say, Dunn?
I almost forgot about a little secret up here.
Yeah, mind working with 3 different sets of input.
Yeah. So there's a different color panel that you can grab. Now we are fully ready to go face down the Cyber Demon.
Yeah.
All secrets found.
Well, I enjoyed talking with you, Raptor.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah, I'm not really stressed about the exam because I had a classmate that had to finish it today. Well, technically yesterday because it's midnight. Because he wouldn't be available on the exam day, and after he was finished with it, I asked him, okay, from a scale from 1 to 10, how difficult was the exam? And he said it was a 0.
Wow. Okay,
yeah,
well, that's good
after
then.
like post-COVID are extremely easy now because they're just focused on just trying to get everybody back into the routine of day-to-day school life, like in person. Because exams were completely like exempt during COVID. So exams are now really easy. So yeah.
Wow.
Even though they're worth just as much as they were before.
What school did you go to?
Oh, Well, I think these are just high schools now all over the world, or at least like
Oh,
in Canada and
but you're in
most
high
of the time
school.
America. Yeah, it's not necessarily the school board itself. It's mostly just the external predicaments due to the pandemic that resulted in this. So pretty much everybody nowadays in high school is going through this. It's very easy exams. Sometimes you don't even have an exam. Other times it'll just be like an ISP.
I don't know that that's a good thing.
Well, a lot of people like it has been reported that like after 3 weeks, you're just gonna forget about literally everything that was on the exam and on the course. So because a lot of it is just more dependent on memory instead of uh applying what you've learned. So I think a lot of exams are now kind of more suited to that instead of just primarily just memorizing information because it has been scientifically proven that you're just going to forget about all that information like 3 weeks later because of the intense amount of cramming that is required in order for you to pass.
Well, I can appreciate that. I mean, even from my own experience, because, for instance, like I was always really good at math, sucked at physics, but really good at math. But,
Yeah, I was really bad at physics too.
and I kind of blame my college professor for that. But, anyways, and that was before I really had figured out how I truly learn, because high school was really, really easy for me. So then when I hit college, it was like, oh wait, you know, there's actually challenging things going on here. And it took
Hmm.
me a while to figure out
Of
how
course.
I actually learn best. And the physics course in college was not like set up to be conducive to that at all. And I didn't figure it out really until, like I said, I had kind of blown that scholarship because I was stupid. But like now, I mean, and I can't even tell you how many courses in like calculus and advanced calculus and blah blah I took. And now if you threw a calculus problem at me, because what do I use it for? I don't, you know, and
Hmm.
haven't. So I would look at it and be like, no, you know. So I do get it, but I don't know. I'm I just find it sad that I guess in high school you don't, or just school altogether, it kind of seems like they're not teaching you the shit that you need to be prepared for actual real life, you know?
Hmm. Well, to me, I don't really view this as too big of a disadvantage because one, most of the things I actually like retain, most of the information I retain is out of my own essentially like when I like teach myself certain subjects as opposed to like in class. Like I know so much more about like history and like math and science out of my own research than I ever did in high school. So
Yeah,
eh.
but you're interested in information and learning.
Mhm.
How many of your classmates couldn't care less right now?
Uh in my grade 12 English class, a lot of my classmates are quite intelligent. Um, but I think it really does depend on the group because I've met so many classmates that are either extremely intelligent or just extremely just mind-bogglingly stupid.
Well, okay,
Or
but
just like others
even
that are passionate and others that are not passionate. Just really apathetic.
well, and because I've been out of that environment for so long, and I'm not, we're kind of linked with our school district, as in um we coordinate and we do projects together and are very much, about improving the school district and providing services and programs and stuff. But I myself am not really involved in that too much. So I've been out of that loop for so long, but that's why I'm asking you, because I'm kind of curious, since you're in that environment. Do you think that a lot of your classmates are successfully developing like critical thinking skills? I mean, I would say you definitely have them, for the areas that you're interested in, or, whatever. And to me, it doesn't matter what area you develop critical thinking skills in, because it's the skill itself that allows you to problem solve, to think about things, whatever, right?
Yeah, knowing what to prioritize. Yeah.
Right. But I do know that it doesn't seem like our school systems are that concerned about teaching you the underlying skills so that you can then teach yourself anything you want to know.
Yeah.
And I don't know, do you see that in your classmates, or is it just literally I don't know, do they set you up to learn that kind of thing?
Somewhat. Like there are I do have teachers that reinforce trying to get their students reason on their claims and being objective about it, and not just viewing it as oh, you inserting your opinion and just leaving it at that. But overall, on average, I'd say that a lot of my classmates haven't really been developing many critical thinking skills. It's mostly just very a mix of apathy and them just being more interested in just regular stuff or simple stuff.
Do you think social media has affected that?
Yes. Social media has destroyed our attention span.
Does that apply to you too?
Somewhat. But I am willing to be patient when it's something that I know is useful, or something that I'm entertained with, at least. So
interesting.
I am capable of exercising that attribute. It's not like I constantly I need constant stimuli in order for my brain to function or anything like that. Which is probably why Better Call Saul is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, because it requires the reviewer to be patient and attentive of every aspect of a character's decision or a plot point that's established, because it does not spoon feed you information. It just shows you usually what a character is doing out of context, and you have to figure out about the end result later.
Hey, Papa G. Thoughts on the God of War series? I bought 2018 on sale, but Ragnarok has not been released on Steam. My ultimate belief is that the what is it? The now to show you the controversy is more interesting. This is your first boss, dear.
Ooh, scary.
And there's actually a way to cheese it.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a sufficient answer to your question.
No, it was. I'm just
watch
curious about that. And I appreciate your answers.
Thank you. Yeah, on that note, I have to get going now. Have a great night, everyone.
You too. Good night.
Bye.
So is this the last level?
Nope.
Oh, because you've been through all the rune trials, so I thought maybe it was.
No, this is the third to last. But
I don't know. What do you mean, Papa G? Not a fan of 2018? Is that God of War that you're referring to? I don't know if he left us too. Oh no, he's still there. Yeah, he's referring to
yeah,
God of War, which I am not familiar with. It does seem to be exceedingly popular, though. I, however, do not need another game at the moment. Yeah, that was a really fun conversation with Raptor tonight.
oh shoot.
And he's dead.
Ding dong, the Dunn is dead. Which old Dunn? The evil Dunn.
There's a different one. Holy shit. Yeah, and I was watching, but that was actually a nice conversation with Raptor. And I do now really kind of want to watch V for Vendetta, although God knows what kind of mood I'll be in on Sunday if we do a movie watch. But I also still want to do Life of Brian. And we haven't done something funny.
I think I might have wasted my ouch.
So what, this is the second boss?
The first of 3 bosses.
Oh, I thought you were in a different environment a little bit ago, but I am really tired and delirious and Did you guys have fun with Harry Potter today?
Yeah, we did. Actually.
I only got to watch just a little bit of that because my earbuds were being dumb for some reason. And then when I got a headset, it was almost done. But I actually watched that the other day just to keep up with where you guys are at. Like I texted you. That one always, I don't know. I always really am very, I don't know if sympathetic is the right word, but maybe it is about Malfoy and Snape in that one. Because it's kind of like, they're both having to do some pretty heavy duty things that they really don't want to do, but they've gotten kind of trapped into doing, So that always I always enjoyed that about that particular.
Yeah. Okay.
We are having fun, Papa G.
Okay.
especially when I get to watch him die. So what do you have to do? Kind of like duck under the one and jump over the other?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna die. Multitudes of times. Because if you're having a rough time with them, even though you're on a higher difficulty. And I'm actually kind of almost there, aren't I? If I ever get through
Yep.
that rune trial. So what is that thing?
That is a cyber demon.
No, that you just picked up.
That is BFG ammo.
That's right.
Oh, I was so close. I almost had him. I almost had the bugger. Oh shoot. Very good.
God, I'm glad tomorrow's Friday. Well, my Friday. I had 3 things I wanted to get accomplished today and
Ouch.
only managed 1.
Dear. Oh dear.
Well, that's just because, there were other things going on and stuff like that. That's the way it always goes. It's like, okay, here's my plan for the day. And I know it's going to be completely screwed up. Usually within half an hour of getting to the office. But God, and my boss is off gallivanting in I think it's the Caribbean, the Turks and Caicos. Lucky dude. He definitely deserves it, though. He works his ass off. But I'm like, I could so use some warm weather about now. God, I'm tired of what was it today? Well, I don't think we got into the negatives today. I think when I left,
Die!
glory kill.
And I got him. Admittedly using something of a cheat, but I'm okay with it.
It was 5 degrees when I left this morning. And that's mid-morning for me.
Whew. Woo.
A little bit of adrenaline pumping there, dear.
Yep. But yeah. Shall I keep going?
Well, that's completely up to you.
Yeah, I'll show you once I get some spare BFG rounds, I'll show you how I beat him. Basically, what you do is you shoot off the BFG round, and then you hold Q down.
Right. I saw you had the weapon wheel up.
Mm-hmm. Basically, what it does is it exponentially damages the bad guy.
Oh, wait, you guys were telling me about that, but I've never used it because I think after I got the BFG, almost immediately went into that stupid freaking rune trial.
That's from above. Killing a lost soul. Kill 20 demons using power ups. Okay, kill a lost soul with another lost soul. Nice.
Oh, I hate those little puff balls.
A little secret down here.
You think I'll remember any of this?
Probably not. But
Other than just kind of some of the visuals.
true.
Oh. I probably would if I wasn't so brain dead. Stupid pinkies. Well, so now that you've killed the knight, are you going to go back after the the Franken monster? The one I can never remember what it's called. Maybe I should buy the Haunted Vagina and read that to you while you play.
That would be an interesting contrast, to say the least.
Oh my god. Wow. Just wow on some of the things people come up with. I mean, like, really? After, like, what? A monster crawls out of her vagina that she convinces her boyfriend to crawl up inside her, and there's, like, another land in there? It's like, what? Dude, dude, you got some issues. You need to go talk to somebody. Either that or you've been with entirely the wrong women. All right, what was that you just picked up? Oh, that was a codex entry.
No, it was a little energy siphon.
I can't tell you how much I enjoy watching your arms go up in molten flame.
Why?
You know why.
Vindication for how often you've died.
No. Vindication for all the torment you put me through. Have you watched very much? Oh my god. Very much Night's Watch lately.
Yeah, actually, I
So
recently watched
how many of them still have shad in them?
quite a few, actually.
Do they all the ones I managed to or that, I watch part of or whatever are interested in are always either the other two guys or the other three guys. And I have to admit, I don't like them as much. Or I shouldn't say I don't like, it's more I don't find them as engaging. Well, he was wanting to get up close and personal with you. And you shot him. I see how you are.
You're not a pinky. You have nothing to worry about.
Huh. Becca and Tarek are just so cute now that they have their own little place,
They
their
are
little
really cute.
kingdom to rule over. And a particular person is very excited because she's going to be going to visit somebody for the first time in like 2 weeks.
Oh, I see.
What's over there on the wall?
Oh, I see. halfway there using. I love this game.
Hmm.
See. So with another also. Death from above. Okay. Did not get the chance to kill him. There's probably another one.
Not that I want you to die per se, but I'd really like to see him rip your legs off. Because that is the Baron, isn't it?
Sorry. Not gonna happen.
Whatever.
At this point, I'm not trying for any. Not really trying for many like upgrade points. I upgrade stuff since I've pretty much got everything upgraded. Five Hell Knights. Okay. Okay. There we go. I see. Nice little trapdoor there. There we go. Richer is complete. Ooh.
Which means what?
I get unlimited ammo at 75 armor.
You never did comment on Saturday, by the way.
That actually sounds like a good idea. I'd like to do Life of Brian and at long last.
No, that would be Sunday, dear. I meant the Wheel of Time fan edit thing.
That. Sure.
Well, I'm just finding that doing the not really having, watched the first part other than the first half hour is hard doing the watch now because on the live stream, they've got the God, I'm so tired. I can't even think of the name of it. The overlay on top of what they're actually watching on the Discord. So what I'm actually doing is I pulled up the actual fan edit, right?
Okay.
And am watching them both simultaneously, but then you have to sync because they stop and talk about things. So I just think it'd be more enjoyable to do it the way they're doing it, which is, watching it on the Discord while they're playing it and then talking about it live. But I mean, it's okay if
Sure. Well,
if we feel differently on Saturday, but it's just kind of a thought it might be. It's kind of actually interesting to hear them talk about the process itself and the reasons why, you know, he chose to edit something in a particular way, or maybe how they might have done it differently, or that part's actually kind of interesting. But yeah, I would really like to do Life of Brian. I was actually thinking about doing it in the red hand, but not everybody that watches with us is in the red hand, I think. So kind of gotten used to hanging out with them.
run back through and grab all the goodies.
Reminds me of like a booby trapped Egyptian temple.
Kinda, yeah. Hmm. pretty. I do like the fact that this level is very easily traversable.
Oh, you mean without a ton of platforming?
No, there's not a lot of lock-offs. I mean,
You mean like where I can just walk off a ledge and die because I'm a dingbat?
no, I was thinking more along the lines of kind of you're locked off from a certain type of progression. You can kind of backtrack a bit. Search around, find all the neat little things you missed. Just let's see. Nice. Okay. I think I've cleared all this out. I'm just missing the trader token.
I am not going to last too much longer, dear.
Okay, that's fine.
I just don't know if how close you are to a decent stopping point.
My main thing right now is that I need to grab a couple more things. Specifically, one last elite guard and the lever. That's what I need. That's my last bit. Yeah, if you need to head out, totally okay. Okay, I'm just can see this one, I think. kidding me? That sucks. Incredibly annoying. Well, that's okay. I can get it later. But for now, I think we will call it good for right now. Thank you, everybody for coming. This has been very fun, and thank you, Trip, for staying on with me for so long. I appreciate it. Anyway, thank you all for coming. This has been great fun. We will see you on the next stream. Bye.